So the holidays are here. You have to go places that you may or may not want to go to and see people you may or may not want to see. But there's some tricks to getting through the holidays. I'll help you out with that. No, you don't need to drink. Well, you can, but you don't need to drink. You don't need to binge eat. You don't need to hide from those in-laws that you just can't really tolerate too much of. You can do. Make yourself a to-go kit for hobby. Inside, what do we have? Well, we gotta have models. So, microfiber cloth. I have, in this case, 3 models painted black, ready to go. Wrap those back up. We have one of those fidget poppers as a pellet. I'd actually done up this here for contrast to just check color against them. Obviously, don't need that. It just happens to be what I set mine up with. That's where you go. I have 3 model airs in my dark green, blue, and red, which colors I'm a big fan of. Do a lot of work with those, particularly for, like, say, once again, doing volumetric sketching, either on their own or in tandem with stuff like this heavy blue gray, this stonewall gray, and this bone white. Dry brushing colors, these ones, volumetrics usually mix in with those. We got an old Raphael brush. This is an old daily driver of mine. I still make a lot of use of this. You can take a look at that that bend in the handle there. That's you've been really putting some pressure on something. There we got a brush tip cover with some foam on the end for if you want to do some stippling or some texturing. And I have a dry brush, which actually probably gets used the most in this little kit. We put it all back together like that, fold it up. Now something like this, you may not want to use the most fragile minis, minis with long, skinny, spindly bits. Using this because it can be a little tight, but generally like your Space Marines, Orcs, stuff like those Whiz Kids, things that have a little bit of flex and a bit of sturdiness to them. The models you put in this kit don't necessarily have to be models that are at that rudimentary sketching, underpainting, dry brushing stage. They can also be models more advanced where maybe you just need to be doing some detailing like edge highlighting, or you're putting in some weathering effects. Once again, you build the kit based on what your needs are and where you're at with your projects, and obviously the colors and everything reflects that. You build the kit with the idea in mind that it's something that you can pull out when you have 10, 15, 20 minutes of downtime to sneak in a little bit of painting, get some work done, where you're not overly investing a lot of time, but otherwise you can get some work done. The thing is, not all of our painting projects, whether you're working on display or batch, happens on your 2, 6, 8 hour painting sessions. A lot of painting can be done in snatched moments, a few minutes here and there that you steal away from your day that can be made more productive. 15 minutes, 20 minutes on a model, doing underpainting, work on your volumes, that adds up, especially when you have a lot of models to paint. If you have an army to work through, if you can during your work week get a bunch of the dry brushing done just on your lunch breaks, that will add up. And then when you get home and you're sitting down to paint, ideally you're painting the things that you find more enjoyable, that you find more fun, you find more rewarding. Maybe you just got some browns in here, and you're just doing belts and backpacks and boots, your BBBs, belts, backpacks, boots. Gotta knock them out at some point in time. Usually not a whole lot of fun, but they're pretty easy to do if you only have 10 minutes at a time, because you're not gonna get so bored that you just want to walk away or do something else, right? When you get home, now you're working on the fun things. Maybe now you're working on the face. Maybe now you're working on that cape. These can really drive up efficiency, and just make life a little bit more fun. Make use of that dead time. Pull it out when you're visiting, or when you just need to de-stress, be a bit of an introvert, what have you. Get some groundwork done when you're away from your main desk and your main table, especially when you have some projects that you are taking a fair bit of time to get through. These are good ways to sneak in extra 15-30 minutes throughout throughout a day or throughout a week. One of the great things about having one of these, especially around the holidays, when you have the big get together, is you might have actually some nieces or nephews that display some interest in mini painting, or they're curious about what you're doing. If that's the case, you pull out one of those extra models, hand it to them, give them a dry brush, and set them up and start teaching them how to do that dry brushing. For someone that isn't familiar with miniature painting and no background, dry brushing a black model is like, it's like the Bob Ross thing. It's watch the magic happen before their eyes, and they'll be amazed more often than not, because you're taking something that's flat and boring, and with just a little bit of effort on your part or their part, they start to create a nice little monochromatic model that looks not bad. Obviously they benefit from actually having color on them, but that monochromatic look looks pretty sharp, and a lot of people can be, impressed with themselves with just a few minutes of quick tutelage from yourself. And maybe you've roped someone else in the hobby. Maybe now you have a better idea what to get them when their birthday comes around, or even for next Christmas. Maybe you help them explore that that budding interest, and you add another person to the little hobby army that you create around you. That's some food for thought. Be safe these holidays, whether you're going anywhere or not. Do your best to have a good time. Spend that time with people that love you, and maybe some that don't love you as much. But there's people that care about you, and take care of yourself. Be good. Be safe. Take care.